Hi, welcome back to the chaos of what I am trying to do. So if you are new here, you should know that this is my February challenge where I am hitting record, going through my analytics and just picking a topic and talking about the topic. So that is what we're doing here. So also, if you didn't watch my video last time, I said that my goal, I'm hoping to get to 2,000 subscribers and 5 to 7 new members to join my membership. So if you are interested, make sure that you A, subscribe to my channel, and B, see if you would be interested in one of my memberships, because 5 to 7 is my goal. I have no idea what I'm going to do when I reach my goal. And so there's that. So if you are here for the February challenge and you have seen the thumbnail and you're here to see what I'm going to talk about, I don't know yet. So I am going to look and see what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to get into it. Just so those of you that are new here know, this is unedited. So this is unedited, anything. So unresearched, all the things. So whatever I say is whatever I say, and it just kind of is what it is. So let me get into these things. I've also noticed that doing these, I have talked so much at the beginning. Sorry about that. Also, my hair is on life support. So there's a lot going on. My hair is on life support. This is the bun. In the next few videos, you might get a bun, anyways, I'm dealing with some things. Okay. I'm dealing with some things. So let's see what is on the agenda for today. Okay. So let's see. We have NFL Championship Predictions 2025, which technically I think that would be right now. So, okay, that's interesting. We have offsides rule in American football. Okay, the offsides rule in American football. There's not much to really talk about there. Like if you're offsides, you're offsides. Like I don't really know what to say about that. Best college football games this year. Ooh, that's a good one. Best college football games this year. That might be a really good one. So that one might be a good one. Lutcher High School football? Lutcher High School football? I honestly think is that in Louisiana? Is Lutcher High School football in Louisiana? I think that's in Louisiana. I don't know why I think it's in Louisiana. No, maybe it's Missouri. I feel, anyways, that, whatever. I'll look that up later. Anyways, Lutcher High School football, Elite Talent Football Podcast, Clemson football recruiting. So for those of you that started this challenge with me the first day, you will know that I used to have 12 things on the list. I've realized whenever I come on camera and I hit record and there's 12 options, I kind of get excited and I don't know which one I'm going to choose. So I limited it down to 6. So that's where you're seeing the 6. The Clemson football doesn't surprise me because I feel like anytime I do a video, a couple of days later, that team's like stuff starts coming back up again. So there's that. So I don't know. Should I do the best college football games this year? Lutcher High School football. I'm very fascinated with the NFL Championship Predictions 20,000. You know what? I am going to do the best college football games this year. And sorry that I am not in frame. I will walk back in the frame here in just a second. And so I am going to I'm going to fix my mic and bring it a little bit closer because I feel like it's kind of far. So hopefully for those of you that are watching, hopefully I haven't played with it too much and you can still hear me. Usually when I can see the mic, I know that it's not close enough to my mouth. Anyways, nobody cares. Okay, so what did I say I was going to talk about? So I am going to talk about the best college football games this year. So the best college football games this year that were really fascinating for me to watch is the first one that actually pops up into my mind, which is actually kind of funny, is Alabama and Georgia. I think that game was fantastic. At the time of that game, Texas hadn't played Georgia. And so I was very fascinated to see like what Georgia had, what they looked like, what they could do. And so I was curious. And so obviously at the beginning of that game, I was like, oh, Texas can beat this team. And then Georgia kind of came storming back. And so anyways, it was just cool to watch Alabama and Georgia at the beginning of the year. I don't know when they play this season or next season. But so yeah, so I would definitely say Georgia, Alabama is the first game that I remember watching. And I was so fascinated and enamored by that game. So that was a good game to watch. Also, Colorado versus Baylor. Colorado versus Baylor was a really good game. And it was a really good game because so much was happening. I think Baylor's defensive line was dominating Colorado. Colorado's offense was a little stagnant, but they were managing to score points. Baylor's special teams, I believe, returned like a punt for a touchdown or a kickoff for a touchdown. And obviously the Hail Mary, then it goes to overtime. Like that was a really good game. So watching Colorado, Baylor was a good game. And Georgia, Alabama was a good game. Oh, Michigan, Ohio State was interesting to me this year, mainly because at the time I wasn't really sold on Ohio State. I wasn't really sure what Ohio State was going to do. I knew that they were talented, but I just hadn't seen it all year. And then when I watched them play Michigan, I was just kind of like, what is this team? Like, this is interesting. So that was actually interesting for me. So Ohio State, Michigan, good football game. Alabama, Georgia was good. Colorado, Baylor was good. I enjoyed watching Texas play Georgia. Every time Texas played Georgia, I enjoyed watching that, mainly because Georgia has been the best of the best, right? Georgia has been the team that everybody is chasing. And so I really enjoyed watching my Texas Longhorns, who have been bad for so long. I really enjoyed watching them play Georgia because I just wanted to see how we matched up. Could we match up? Is our defense good? Can we make plays? What does this offense look like, right? So it was cool for me to watch Texas match up against Georgia both times, quite frankly, and how I felt about the game and the turnout of the game and things like that. I'll leave that where it is. But I will say that game, I liked watching Texas play Georgia when they played. Let's see, what other game did I like? The best football games. I don't know what else I could say was like a really good game. You know, Colorado and Kansas was a pretty good game. Like watching Colorado play Kansas was interesting for me. I think that was a good game. I think I would say that was a good game. Yeah, Colorado, Kansas was a good game. I am one of those, I'm one of those college football watchers. Obviously, I watch my teams and support my teams. But I like those games where it's somebody has to travel to somebody's whatever, and it's like loud and crazy and dynamic, and it's usually a night game. I like night games. Like I like anytime I can get an LSU night game, sign me up. And now that I think about LSU night game, I enjoyed LSU and A&M this year. I wasn't able to watch it like how I wanted to watch it, but the LSU A&M game, A&M is an interesting thing for me, but LSU, honestly, I will be honest with you. Anytime LSU is playing at night, I am probably going to watch that game unless my team is playing. So anytime, Death Valley, anytime anybody is playing at LSU at night, you can almost bet that I am going to be watching that game unless my team is playing. LSU at night, magical. I love it. Now, Texas is trying to get their night game thing going. Hook them, by the way. But we're new to the SEC, so I can understand the SEC not wanting to give Texas, like, you know, all these night games and stuff like that. But LSU at night, it's pretty magical. So let's see. But that's not a matchup. I will just say LSU at night is pretty magical. So there's that. So, okay. So I have LSU. So let's see. I have Georgia, Bama, Georgia, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State. That was good. You know what else was like a good game to watch, even though there was hardly any defense being played? Cal and Miami. That was an interesting game because I didn't know what was going to happen. And at the time, like, we didn't know that Miami defense was that defense, right? Like, we didn't know. Like, we didn't actually know that was who they really were. And so at the time, watching Cal play Miami was kind of cool. The other thing I'll say too, and this will maybe be my last one because this is the last one that's like coming to my mind. And it's kind of funny that all these are Georgia games. So it's kind of interesting that as I'm like talking through this, I'm like, oh, that's a Georgia game. That's a Georgia game. That's a Georgia game. I don't know. I like the way Georgia plays football. And if you've seen any of my Georgia videos, you will know like Georgia is the team that I want my team to be like. I want them to be tough. I want them to be aggressive. I want them to be dominant. I want them to be Georgia because to me, Georgia, the way Georgia plays football, the aggressiveness, all of those things, I want Texas to take on that personality. So I like watching Georgia play. What can I say? I just like watching them play. And so the other game that I was going to say is Georgia versus Georgia Tech. And I think that speaks to the reason why I like watching Georgia play is because Georgia is one of those teams, in my opinion, that I don't feel like they're ever out of it. Like, I don't feel like a team like Georgia is ever out of the game. And I love watching those teams play. Like, give me gritty. Give me that. I want gritty, hard-nosed. I don't care what you have to do. Just don't stop playing. Just keep your gas on the brake. No. Keep your foot on the gas. All gas, no brakes. That's what it is. That's what Steve Sarkisian says. But that's a different conversation for a different day. We're not here to talk about Texas. So yeah, so those are my games. So if I had to recap, let's see if I remember what I said. So I think Georgia versus Georgia Tech was a great game. I think Texas versus Ohio State was a good game. Texas versus Ohio State was a good game. So Texas versus Ohio State. Let me do all the Texas games. So Texas versus Ohio State was fun to watch. Texas versus Georgia was fun. But now that I think about it, Texas versus Michigan was also fun. Like going into the big house and playing Michigan, like something about that like really was fun to watch, especially at the beginning of the year. I thought Texas was going to be really good. I wasn't sure. Watching them go in and do what they did to Michigan, great. Okay, let me start this back up from the top. I'm not going to add any more games, and let's see if I remember the things that I said. My hair is literally going everywhere. Gosh. Oh, okay. So let's go from the top. So the Texas games that I liked, I watched watching Texas play Georgia. I watched watching Texas play Michigan, and I liked watching Texas play Ohio State. Done. So Georgia, I liked watching, obviously Georgia play Texas. I like watching Georgia play Georgia Tech. I like watching Georgia play Alabama. That was really good to see. And I think that's all I said about Georgia. Georgia playing us, Georgia playing Georgia Tech, Georgia playing Alabama. Cool. I liked also LSU at night. You can't forget LSU at night. Absolutely. Just amazing. It's just amazing. If you've never been to LSU, you should go visit LSU Baton Rouge. I feel like I've said that before in another video. Anyways, if you have not visited LSU, you should go visit them in Baton Rouge, see if the Tiger's there, all the things. It's great. It's phenomenal. So LSU at night, I think I also said Michigan and Ohio State. That was fun to see. That was a really good game. And then I believe I said Colorado, Baylor. And then I also believe that I said Colorado, Kansas State. If I didn't say that, I meant that. But anyways, those are the games that I enjoyed watching this year. And so, yeah, I'm sure there's a plethora of games I forgot about, but those are the games that like stand out to me that first came to me as soon as I started to hit record. So those are the teams that those are the teams. Yeah, those are the teams. Those are the games I'm going to say. And yeah, so there's that. I would say I did watch a couple of Boise State's games this year, but that blue turf, I can't get with the blue turf. The blue turf throws me off. So that's just how I feel about that. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment. And don't forget that I'm trying to get to 5 to 7 members. To join. I think I have 3 as of right now, but I'm trying to expand that, trying to grow this channel. It is the off season. This is my February challenge, unedited, just being me, just being all chaotic. And I hope to, sweet baby Jesus, the next time I come online, my hair does not look like this or my nails can be done. That would be fantastic. But the weather, semantics, things happen. Anyways, I will see you in my next video.